Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Let's get our first look at actual sales data of Lord of the Rings collector boxes off of TCG Player at release minus 14 days. These data encompass all the way up through the end of June 9th. Through that period, they have sold 4,050 boxes on TCG Player at a total price of $1,553,000 for an average box price of $383 per box. Pretty good because those sales are accelerating and the price is coming up off this low here where it bottomed. And remember, this is the 7-day moving average, so there's a little bit of lag in this just to make the curve a little more smooth and observable. Now, what will we compare this against? Of course, if you've been watching my data videos for the last 18 months, you know Double Masters 2022 is the best-selling product up until now. And yes, at the same period in Double Master 2022's pre-release life cycle at R-14 for it, it had sold a mere $833,000 worth of collector boxes on TCG Player. So Lord of the Rings collector boxes are almost outperforming at a 2-to-1 ratio. And you know what? We'll throw another set up there. You remember the Lost Legends, Hysteria, Dominaria United. Yes, the number 2 best-selling pre-release collector box. And look where it was. If you actually dig into the data down there, it was about half of Double Masters 2022. So if we're simply ranking collector boxes by how much total money people on TCG Player had spent on them up to the R-14 day, previously Dominaria United was number 2, now it's pushed to number 3. Twice as much sales were done for Double Masters 2022, and now twice as much again as that have been done for Lord of the Rings collector boxes. So it's only going to get crazier from here for a while. Hopefully the 101 ring gets pulled early. I hope it gets pulled. I hope it gets pulled as soon as people start doing box openings before release on YouTube so that the Timmies will go away, the hysteria will die down, and the prices will settle. Now, something I mentioned, on June 5th, I released my What Will You Have to Pay for Lord of the Rings video, and in that video, I pointed out that I've done a bunch of studies over time of the relationship between daily sell-through on TCG Player, market depth, and future price action, and I've seen again and again that there is no correlation. There are no conclusions you can draw from that, and I just want to come back to that point today because we can look at my video I did on June 5th, and we can look today now that it's June 10th. And so on June 5th, if you go back to that What Will You Have to Pay video and you pause it when I show the market depth on TCG Player for Lord of the Rings collector boxes, you can see that the price on that day, the current lowest ask price, was $376 at the moment I filmed that video on June 5th, and that there were 174 boxes for sale in the market before the price went up over $400. So if you just take those first 7 or 8 offers, and one of them was for something like 117 boxes, but if you add up all those ones under $400, there were 174 for sale. So then what I did is I looked through this data set that I've collected here, and I said, how many boxes sold each day starting on the 6th? So on the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So I disregarded any boxes that sold in between when I filmed that video on the 5th and the end of the 5th. And I disregarded any boxes that sold from 12:01 a.m. this morning on the 10th up until the time I'm recording this video. So I've thrown out those 2 bits of sales on the 5th and the 10th. So I've only taken the full day sales for the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, and totaling them up, it was 836 boxes. And the price today, right now, as I record this, is $395. So 5 days ago, there were only 174 boxes in the market before the price went up over $400. Since then, the market has sold 836 boxes, and the price is not over $400 yet. And so I just want to underscore that so everyone remembers there is no correlation between daily sell-through, depth of the market, and future price action. If you look at products that are very old, where there's not a big supply of them anymore, and I'm talking old products like 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old and more, where the amount for sale on TCG Player is very low, like single digit numbers, then yes, you can maybe draw some better conclusions there because the number of boxes of those items that could come to market is so much lower. But when we're talking about Lord of the Rings collector boxes, the number of boxes that can come to market today is monstrous. And you'll have card stores every hour that are either receiving verbally their allocation. Eventually here, we're going to have card stores start physically receiving their boxes, and you're going to have card stores start seeing prices rise to the point where they say, yeah, I'll go ahead and list now and put some boxes up for sale, or potentially they've had their best customers commit to buying and the rest of the boxes beyond ones they want to hold to sell in store, they'll go ahead and commit to sell online. So there are a lot of decisions that go into how many boxes will a store list on TCG Player, when will they list them, and then on top of that, even potentially when will they delist them before they even sell them. And so another whole complicating factor is you have back-end sales management tools that allow stores to list their inventory on multiple sales platforms, and then it automatically manages it. When it sells on one, it takes it down off the other platforms so they don't sell the same product twice. So there's all kinds of nuances and variables and unknowns that go into this equation of market depth, daily sell-through, and future price action. And the reality is there just is no correlation, especially with a hot current product like this, where there are so many tens and hundreds of thousands of these boxes floating around, even notionally floating around in terms of only verbally confirmed allocations. So don't make any assumptions based on daily sell-through and current market depth, not on something like this that is still in pre-release. There just absolutely is no correlation. So, I think this is just going to keep going nuts here. I think this kind of high, steep ascent will continue on. We're going to see crazy price action. Like I said previously, and I still believe it, I think it's very possible we see $450 to $500 on these boxes for a little while. I hope that the one-of-one is pulled quickly so that fewer people get burnt on the crash of these box prices when it is pulled. I think the worst thing that could happen is people continue to FOMO, spend way too much money on these boxes, then the price slowly sinks over 4, 6, 8 weeks post-release, and then someone just kind of quietly pulls the ring 3 months from now, and there are a few articles about it, but no one cares because by then we have Commander Masters in our hands. I think that's the worst outcome, because you will have the most people feeling burnt at having spent so much money, way too much money on this product. So it's going to be a great product. It's worth buying. It's worth putting back for the long term, but it is not worth FOMOing over. There will be better prices in the future. Let me know what you think, guys. I'll do another check on this 1 week again from today, next Saturday on the R-7, and then I will do my typical post-release day, the Saturday after that. I will have the complete pre-sales data, and I will do another video that is the pre-sale set box data. I might even do a draft box data video for this set, just because I think it'll be interesting to see the wild amounts of money people are spending. And one last thing, this set paints WotC into a corner. They want to increase top-line revenue, increase bottom-line profit, and increase profit margins, preferably every quarter, but at a minimum every year. And you can see how well this set is doing right now, that its sales at this point in its pre-release period are double those of Double Masters 2022 collector boxes from last summer. And just start thinking in the back of your mind, what the heck is WotC going to have to do to top this year after year after year? Let me know what you think, guys. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. Join the Patreon.